my voice work? Oh god, it's bad. Oh no, I missed a fish. Oh no, I was petting the cat. Oh god, I haven't missed a fish yet. That feels bad. It was worth it. So we don't actually know yet. As far as I can tell, I think the rod does matter, but we haven't really proved how. My current, and I haven't actually said this out loud, my current theory is that the lure rod catches bigger fish simply because it has hidden stats that make it better, and those hidden stats actually come into play when it comes to like the biggest fish possible. So like, unless you're trying to min-max those last 10 centimeters on a fish, it does not matter. But like, if you are trying to catch the biggest fish possible, I think you have to use the lure rod. However, some fish aren't caught on the lure rod, so you can't always, but that's currently my theory, because all the records for like the fish that can be caught on lure rod have been caught on lure rod. And I don't think it's from lack of trying on the fishing rod. I think it's just the fact that you can't, because it has hidden stats. But I have no proof of that. Well, you're sharing a seat with me. Oh my god, you're so bad. You're so bad. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Why are we up? You just want to sit with me. I was asleep. You could have sat with me there. Why do I have to be awake for you to sit with me? Oh, you're bad. For God's sakes, I've had this giant gnawing fear at the back of my mind that what just happened is what I've needed to do, and you're actually supposed to miss fish. Like, I don't know, there's some weird mechanic that every time a fish bites, like you're not, like you maybe wait 2 bites. It's the 3rd fish that you actually want to hook. I don't know. We need to look at the code at this point, but like, yeah, I'm not that smart. I had to have somebody in Discord screen share download this for me, so I technically didn't even do it. I was puppeteered. Oh, here we go, here we go. There's either a Kaji or the Bobo I've been looking for. What are you doing? You're bad. Alright, I got my chair back. Ooh, handsome. $116. 200. Okay, so that's a weird fish. That was really heavy for how long that fish was. Or wait, that was really heavy for how... Wait, did I say that right? I should not be playing this game this early, but... I shouldn't be up this early. But welcome, welcome. Do you fish a lot in games? Do you fish a lot in just this game? Personally, I do, but Retro Achievements doesn't. There's some records I specifically hold that are only weight. So I'm a bit of a stickler. So the FP determines the model size that Max holds, and then the centimeters determines the model in the aquarium. So technically, you gotta like go for both, because if you want the biggest fish right now, it's the FP. But if you want the biggest fish in the aquarium, it's the centimeters. So like, if you only care about one of those, you only need to care about one of those. But if you care about both, you have to care about both. Oh, my phone's... Yeah, we have to... Oh, we're good. Never mind. I'm actually enjoying the retro achievements too. It's kind of cool to see, like, as you catch bigger fish, where you pop up into. Like with the Bobo, I was like pretty far down, and now I'm in second place. Separate categories for like world records. But as far as like the best fish, I consider that to be centimeters. So like personal world records, I like to give those individually to who has what fish. If you have the heaviest fish, you have the heaviest fish. Doesn't matter if it's shorter. But as far as like who has the best fish, I give that to the centimeters fish, because that's the best one in the aquarium, and the weight only matters in like 2 situations. So like best fish is definitely length. But like as far as world records, that's separate categories. But like best fish is same fish. And that's why it's the dream to have the heaviest and the longest fish. But that happens pretty rarely. It is the dream, though. I don't remember what any of them are, but there's calculations. You can also just save the game and feed the fish and then reset, or you could take the fish to the fishing contest and then reset. Truthfully, the fishing contest is the best, because that's another way to get a picture of your fish is like model size. And there is actually a unique model size that is only found at the fishing contest, but it's actually impossible to see because you have to breed a fish to a certain size to get the model to pop up. However, you can't breed a fish and turn it into the fishing contest, so you have to cheat. But there is actually a secret model for every fish at the fishing contest. I should really make like a video showing it off. I technically have, but I should make like just a short clip of it. There's a lot of really good information about fishing in this game, but like, it's just not shared. I've been trying to share as much as I know, but I haven't comprised it all. Compressed? What am I trying to say? God, I'm tired. I haven't put it all into one video. I hilariously did start writing a mock version of a fucking River Monsters episode with Dark Cloud 2 terms just replaced. That's probably somewhere around. Yeah, you just reset your game though. You just save before you do it, and then you reset the game. Is that cheating? Meh. But a lot of people just know there's that. Again, I don't know it. I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you, but there is just a mathematical equation to type in to get FP and then weight. It's directly correlated. I just don't know it because I'm super bad at numbers, and it takes me like weeks to actually remember an equation, and by the time I've like memorized it, it's usually not important. But honestly, it's important. I should have learned it. I should have learned it. Oh, it's so early. No, it's too early to be up. But if the fish are biting, I need to be here. Oh wait, the only record that's not up to date is Prisclean, because I did just set a personal best the other day. Technically not the record. Well, yeah, I actually don't know technically because somebody else caught one just as big, but I would actually have to ask them to get back on their streak. I don't even know if they kept the fish. I will have to go back and see if they have it on YouTube or something. It's like Fubuki Shingo? I have no idea. They sound like they're getting microphones in a microwave. But I was pretty much done playing on the PS2. I was on like day 1000 or something like that. And as you saw, my aquarium was pretty good looking. So, Retro Achievements has like a few hundred people who have played the game. And there's one person, Don Doken, who set like a really solid record for just about every fish. And then there's like one fish he didn't set the record for. Or they, I should probably use proper pronouns. I have no idea what gender they are. So, essentially, that's the best site for it, but now there's a comment under Pokemon Fan 4000's most recent video where they list all of their records, and they hold a lot of records. So you can also look there. And then I hold a lot of records, so you can look here. But as for like one place with all of the records, there isn't one. But between Pokemon Fan, Don Doken, and the one random person on Retro Achievements, and myself, that's like, that is all of the records I can think of. There might be somebody out there who holds a record that we just don't know about, but we don't know about it. I guess I could put all the records on my Twitch. I would just, you know, have to give them credit, obviously. Oh, and then the Discord, I guess, has like a fishing contest that goes on, but I don't hang out at the Discord because the last time I did, they tried to sell me a bunch of stuff. Oh, I poked way too soon. Whoops. But I do hope you take up fishing. The more people fishing, the more likely we are to see the perfect fish. There's been a couple times that we've thought the perfect fish has been caught, but we don't know. We know what the maximum size in the aquarium is, which potentially tells us the maximum size for Kaji and Nonki, but we do not know what the maximum size for every fish is technically. We do think we know the maximum size for the small fish, and that's 61 centimeters. Because no Neji, Gummy, Gila, or Piccoli has ever been caught longer than that. And 2 of them have been specifically caught at 61 centimeters. And multiple people have caught 59.6 centimeter gummies. I'm currently convinced that, like, the date or the day of the week or something is influencing the RNG, and like you just are or you aren't going to catch the perfect fish based on like bullshit nonsensical RNG. Like you could fish for 12 hours a day and it doesn't matter, it just has to be the right day of the week and you'll get it. Which I know that's how RNG works, but like not technically the right way. And it's also possible that like this game didn't account for like the year 2024 and we're still just looping on like the year, I don't know, 2020, and we'll potentially never see the record size fish at like the maximum potential because it just doesn't exist in the code. I don't know. I'm not that smart. So I fish a lot. It would be crazy to find out that like the year this game came out was like the best time to fish. But there's also been times where like I've been watching other people stream this game and like every other fish they catch they just instantly lose, and it makes me wonder if like they're just that bad at fishing or if like they're just getting god roll RNG. But like I don't know. I'm not playing for them, so I don't know how they're catching the fish, but they'll catch like every other fish, so it's like, okay, they know what they're doing. But I've also personally had days where like I've caught multiple record-sized fish, but like no personal bests for me, but every other person who fishes in this game would be happy to catch the fish. And it's like, how did I catch 10 of those in one day? Like some days I'll fish for 12 hours and I won't see a single big fish, but why did I see 10 in one day? There's probably something to it. Truthfully, I need to go back and record all my fish in a data log, but ooh. Ooh. It's like 500 hours of fishing across multiple save files. Yeah, no, it's all on YouTube. Streamed the whole thing. I did it this year. Well, technically, I started last year. December to December. I am working on hitting 1,000 videos on YouTube. I did just post like 20 clips last night, so that's kind of cheating, but I did have 940 VODs on there, which were all like 50 minutes or longer. Most of them were 2 hours. But I've got like a few thousand hours on YouTube of just streaming, and it's like a quarter of it is fishing. What bait did I just switch to? What is this? Oh, T-fish. This is probably a Hama Hama. Or a Kaji. It's probably Kaji. This is a big Hama Hama. This is a Kaji. This is probably 108. 160. 108, 160? Sure. Oh god, no, it's tiny. Oh wait, what's my rod at again? Yeah. That was a bad guess. Yeah, and sometimes, ooh, it's a little loud. Sometimes I meet people, but mostly just to get the record. Or, record. I record myself to get the record while I'm getting the record. Yeah, I record myself to get the record. That's weird. I've never... That's like read and read, isn't it? Record, record. Never paid attention to that. Man, I'm stupid. But I've streamed a few challenge runs. I don't speed run or anything though. I mostly do super long grinds. Actually, my main thing is doing 107 medals pre-Lin, where basically you get every medal in the game before you get Lin on your team. You even use Pokemon Fan 4000's Out of Bounds glitch to get into Chapter 6 early, so that you can get additional medals. And with those additional medals, you can make 2 ultimate weapons with name change tickets. So before you even have Lin on your team in Chapter 3, you can have a 5-star Armlet, and Island King, or a Grade 0, or Legend. Ooh. But, well, I was gonna say I don't really do challenge runs anymore, but I was just doing items only the other day. But that's because somebody named Monty came up with the idea, and I stole the playthrough from them, so. But, no, I mostly just fish. Well, I also do a lot of Spheda. But I'm really bad at Spheda right now, I don't know why. My reaction times feel off. I do have a bit of a cough and a sniffle going on, so could be that. Right now, I'm not even lying about this, my entire goal of streaming is to get those last... I needed, like, it was 46 VODs or something like that to hit 1,000 recordings on Twitch. And then I uploaded, like, 24 something clips the other night of just Svita, and I felt kind of dirty doing it, but I'm really proud of each clip, so like I'm not upset about it, but I still want to hit that like 46 VOD recordings, but I have to do it in less than like 30 days. So like I'll definitely get it done because I stream a lot, but it's really my goal right now. And I really wanted to set some fishing records again, but I couldn't like convince myself for a reason to do it because on my PS2 I have them. Like, I don't have the best records, but like I have the biggest fish basically possible. So there's no point in catching more fish. However, I don't have them on emulator, but I didn't really have a desire to do it on emulator because like what was I going to do? Just rebreed a bunch of giant fish? And then I saw somebody else playing with retro achievements and I was just like, dang, maybe I should try it? Like, how hard is it? And I found out it was unbelievably easy to set up. And I set it up, and the first time I started catching fish, I was like, wow, that's so cool. Like, it tells me my placement among everybody who's ever caught a fish. And then I caught one that was like 10 centimeters bigger, and I jumped like 100 people. And I was like, whoa, like, that's crazy. You can like literally see how many people caught like a certain like size of fish. And then all of a sudden I caught like over a certain threshold and I was like in second place. And it was like, oh wow. Like you can literally see where people stopped fishing because like they're, and we don't know this, but maybe their stats weren't high enough or they just didn't simply fish long enough. Because again, we don't know how the fish are generated. So like it could just be luck. But it was really cool. The coolest thing I think has been is if you catch over 100 centimeters, you basically jump to the top 10. But that also just tells me there's not enough competition, because if thousands of people were fishing, it would give us a better idea. But I tried. I streamed this game almost daily for like 3 months. But the Dark Cloud 2 community as a whole has decided that I am not the guy. Which is fine, because honestly, the Discord and Reddit combined just make me so irate. Irate? Irate. Irritated. There's just a guy the other day bragging that he's been playing for 100 hours and he still hasn't done the Sheriff Blinkhorn race. And it's like, it's not the brag you think it is. Like, I know you think you hate the race, but it's not actually hard. You're just refusing to do it differently because I'm not sure why. That's why it confuses me that people still think this game's weapon system is difficult. Like, it's only difficult if you make it difficult. Which, if it's your first time playing it, that's totally fine. Yeah, it's confusing, but I don't know. I think there's a moment that every player is supposed to have where you realize that you level up the weapons to +5, and the company is called Level 5. And that's it. That's supposed to be it. You are now good at the game. Please exit stage left. Oh, did I just sell my big Mardan? No, it's in the tank. I sold my big Bobo. Is that all my throwables? We keep the holy stones. Is that it? Ooh. Not my best organization. It'll have to do, though. No, so and I could be wrong about this. Retro Achievements is specifically for emulator. So, like, none of my PS2 playtime counted. So, like, that's kind of why I'm back to fishing. Because I kind of gave up on it. Because it was like... I found out with Codebreaker that the maximum size you can get is 200 centimeters in the aquarium. So I caught a 187 legitimately, and I fed that fish to the point where it was 194 in my aquarium, or 195, something like that. So it was kind of like I either had to catch a fish bigger than 187 and feed it up to be 200, or give up. And after 500 hours, I decided to give up. So I was pretty satisfied with it and just moved on. And then all of a sudden it was kind of like, I don't know, I wanted to fish again, but I kept realizing every time I sat down to fish that it was like, I am not getting this fish. Like, it is such an astronomically low chance that, like, there's so many other things I could be doing instead. So I decided to do those other things, but then again I realized every time I'd play on the emulator, it was like, dang, I don't have an aquarium, I need to make an aquarium, and I'd make an aquarium, and every time I'd make an aquarium, it was cool, but, like, it never felt right. So, like, I keep switching the fish in it, and then finally I realized the reason it didn't feel right was because I didn't catch any of the fish. So I didn't really bother. But then all of a sudden, again, like I was describing earlier, I was like, oh, I wonder how hard Retro Achievements is to get. But I could be wrong. Retro Achievements might work with PlayStation. I don't think it does. Oh, dude, I think... Oh, I did. I was standing up. I knelt down to clean something up, and then when I stood up, I shoulder checked the countertop, and it bruised my shoulder. Oh, wait, what time is it? It's AM. So yeah, if you play on... Oh, damn, I dropped some frames. If you play on a PlayStation, you'll probably have to keep your own records and just compare with people. Which, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what I used to do. But if you play on an emulator, you can use Retro Achievements, and that'll compare you against... It's like 500 people. But truthfully, from what I can tell, only about 4 people actually tried to catch big fish, and only 2 of them actually did. Only 1 of them actually tried to go for record-sized fish. But even they gave up halfway. They would just catch the record and then give up. Like, they didn't actually push most of the fish to their limits. They just would catch the biggest fish and then move on. Only 1 time did they actually push a fish to its limit, and it was because they had to. Oh, wait, wrong bait. Whoops. I personally like pushing the fish to their limits, which is what I did on my PS2, but I used to post my fishing records on Reddit, but people would just question how I got them. Both, like, legitimately, and both, like, how do you catch such big fish? And it's like, you level up your rod and you fish for 12 hours. Yeah, I never fished for records before I started streaming. When I fished in this game as a kid, I just fished to eat the fish, and then when I grew up, I stopped because it was like you get enough food. You get it from Aunt Polly, you get your cheese from Granny Rosa, and then if you need chicken, you get chicken from Ferdinand. But like as a kid, I just didn't understand that, so we caught and ate fish. But yeah, thankfully I've been recording all of my record sizes. Thankfully Pokemon Fan 4000 recorded all of their fish from the last 15 years. The only problem is they only recorded the Nonki and the Kaji. But yeah, the craziest part was my biggest fish, or my longest fish ever, was caught on my like 3rd day of actually trying for the world record size fish. And then I spent like 3 months going to like try and break it, and I just couldn't. So like I'm so thankful that it was recorded, but I'm kind of not glad that I recorded like another 300 hours of me not breaking the record, because it was just like, oh, like, was it necessary? Yeah, but like the weird thing is Don Doken asked them in a comment about all their other fish, and they had almost exact length and weights for all of the other fish. And it's just like, that's weird. It's like, that confuses me so much. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe it was, because I never recorded games 15 years ago. I did have an Elgato, and I remember thinking it was too much to figure out. So maybe it was just too annoying to set up the recording to, like, capture their best Priscline ever. But their best Priscline is still 6 centimeters larger than 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Like, it's just so much bigger that it's like, damn. Nobody else has ever caught a 90 centimeter plus Priscline. Only Pokemon Fan. So I have a theory that, like, they might at some point have found, like, a secret to catching bigger fish, and then just, like, not recorded certain fish because they knowingly, like, had some sort of exploit going on. But at the same time, like, they might also just have 15 years of fishing recording, and, like, just like you said, they didn't care. Just Nonki and Kaji are the only ones they cared about. Because actually, and this is all just a theory because I've never talked with Pokemon Fan, it could just be that they never actually knew the fish got that big, and like they just caught big fish and they kept it in a journal or something like that, and then all of a sudden one day, because again, just a theory, but they have some really big Bobo. And like Bobo look really cool in the aquarium when they get to like 100 centimeters. And then all of a sudden they catch all of those big Nonki. And they record all of their record size Nonki. And then they switch to Kaji fishing. And it could just be that they didn't know the fish got that big. And like they just liked keeping track of their records because it keeps track in Dark Cloud 1. So, like, maybe they just wanted to do it themselves because they came from Dark Cloud 1 and they were like, damn, where's the record keeper? I want to keep track of my 20 biggest fish. And they just slowly realized that the fish were getting bigger and bigger as you caught, like, different species. And then they hyper-focused on Nonki and Kaji. And those were the only ones they thought were worth recording for YouTube because they thought they'd discovered this crazy thing. And they did. But they just had scratched the surface. But again, I don't know. Haven't talked to him. But it very well could just be that they had a leftover remnant, like, I want to keep my top 20 fish from Dark Cloud 1. And they did it for this game, and then all of a sudden realized, like, oh shit, there's something going on here. Because there are other people who caught big fish and raised big fish. But, like, they have even less data online. Like, Darth Mom is somebody who appears to have had, like, a hand in breeding and creating giant fish, but, like, they have no presence outside of, like, 14-year-old game FAQs. Could be that. I thought it was that for the longest time. That, not that they were cheating, but, like, maybe they had their stats on their fishing rod set to 700s and they just forgot. But I cheated a bunch with the code breaker, and yeah, I could not find a way to just make big fish appear. I gave one fishing rod stats of just 700, and then, like, the flight was 999, and the fish were just normal sized. So, like, again, maybe they found something out, but again, that would just be RNG manipulation. Ooh, handsome. Oh yeah, that's potato cake. I was like, this is probably, I didn't even want to say it. I was like, this is probably a Baku Baku, but we're on potato cakes. But I just wish they weren't so hard to contact, but I also understand being hard to contact because, I mean, genuinely, like, I'm not a big streamer or a YouTuber or anything, and I still get harassed, like, on a weekly basis. And the more I put myself out there, like, the more I reach out, the more I get harassed. And it's just like, okay, like, I never go anywhere picking a fight. Like, I know I can be a... Ooh! That just got me up some spots. Very nice. I just jumped a second on Bobo. I just set my record for Mardans. I just set my record for Gummy. See, it's weird, man. I really feel like the day genuinely affects the fish you catch. Like, the real world day. There are just genuinely better fishing days. I've been trying to, like, stick to this theory of only catch about 10 fish in each area and then move on. Because, like, I've done 16-hour fishing streams and not caught anything. One time on New Year's Eve, I did a 16-hour stream and I caught a giant fish at the very start of, like, 16 minutes into the stream, I caught, like, a record-sized fish. And then I didn't see another record-sized fish until, like, the last 10 minutes of the stream. So, like, I really... And they were the same weight. It was so weird. I don't have proof of it, but I feel like the RNG is tied to it. Because, like... And this is, like, another example, but Sfida... I try to do record Sfida shots, and one time I found multiple 300 plus meter Sfida shots in one day, and then, like, I struggled to find them for like a week, and then all of a sudden I found multiple in the same day again. So, like, I think something with the PS2's, like, internal clock might affect the RNG for, like, dungeon, like, production. I was trying to say progression, but I knew that wasn't the right word. So, like, I don't know, but I think, like, the real world time and day affects the RNG of your game, which would actually explain why a lot of people think, like, certain things are actually, like, the way it's supposed to be, because maybe they play the game every year around Christmas, or, like, maybe when it gets hot every year and they go inside because it's too hot outside, they play Dark Cloud 2, and, like, that just, you know, manipulates the RNG in a certain way that they experience things in a particular way as well. Because again, and I've mentioned this before in other streams, I've talked to people who just straight up believe, like, oh yeah, on this dungeon floor you always get a time coin, and it's like, no you don't. And like, yeah, no, I've been playing this game for 20 years, you always get a time coin on this floor. And then I'll play through the floor and not get a time coin, and they're just like, huh. no, you're supposed to get one. Check your inventory. Maybe you just missed it. And it's like, you don't get a time coin every time. Or like, so, like one person was convinced Steve was the first slingshot you get in Dark Cloud 1 no matter what. And I was like, I wonder what you name your characters. And just wondering if they name their characters a particular thing every time they play the game, and that causes their RNG to be a specific way. But, I don't know. I wish I knew. Ooh, dropping frames. Damn, my shoulder hurts something fierce. I caught that countertop good. Nope. There are some dream fish I would like to catch still. But again, I just kind of gave up on it because I had bred the largest fish I could pretty much on my PS2 in the colors I wanted. So there just wasn't a point in trying to catch large fish of other species. But I don't have a single fish that big on this save or any saves. And I still need to get a New Game Plus save going. So it all just kind of really gave me a reason to come back and play this game the way I wanted to. So I don't know, but I don't think so. I am confident it's not. But I do have 3 personal bests caught in dungeons. One of them has to be caught in a dungeon because it's the Umatakara. But my Gobbler and Nonky records did come from a dungeon. However, I don't have the records for those fish. Those are just my personal bests, and the records for those fish were caught in Palm Brinks. So, I feel like if you can catch it outside of a dungeon, you should. But again, that simply could be the whole, like, every day has different RNG, and when you're running through dungeons, you have to beat the dungeon and then fish. So simply the fact that you don't have to do that out here, you get to see more fish automatically. So like, I don't know. But Pokemon Fan 4000 didn't set any crazy records in a dungeon. Their Kaji record, honestly, isn't that insane anymore. And they set it in a dungeon. But, like, towards the end of their fishing career, they started to fish at Shigura Village, I think. And that's where we currently think the best Kaji are caught. So, like, again, no proof, but I think it's pretty obvious that fishing outside of dungeons is better. But dungeons are also the only place that have weather effects. And according to the guidebook, weather effects do help in fishing for some species. So, like, you would think the dungeons are better. And then getting a weather effect would be best, but I mean, I've tried. I'd say more than anybody, I have tried to prove that weather effects help in fishing, but I have seen no proof of it. Come on, what is wrong with you? You're so goofy, June. I know, you like your shoulders rubbed. I prefer fishing in dungeons because you can usually get out of bounds and fish in funny places. And I like fishing in funny places. But, again, there's no proof it's better. There's just no proof it's better. If we could figure out the RNG, there might be proof it's better. For instance, like you could, if you found out Max needs to be standing at a certain height above the water and a certain distance away from the water, and we found out that like particular like places out of bounds are best in that scenario, I don't know. But as it stands, yeah, honestly, as it stands, I think just loading in the game, catching 10 fish in every fishing hole with like a few different baits is the best way to go. and then just log off for the day. Because I have done so many 12-hour streams, and they haven't resulted in record-setting fish. Again, sometimes they don't even, sometimes I don't even catch big fish. And it's, like, really defeating, because I'll spend an entire day, and you don't even catch anything fun, let alone anything being like, whoa, that's, okay, hold on. And it's just like, what is going on here? And I genuinely think that it has something to do with, like, the day of the week, or, like, it could just be as simple as just the calendar date. It could just plug in the calendar date, or, again, since this game's 20 years old, they could have just assumed that they didn't need to put in dates after 2020, and it is just December 29th, 30th? How many days are there in December? I don't know. 2019 over and over and over, and that's why some of us keep catching 59.6 centimeter gummies, is because we're seeing the same fucking fish. And we'll never see that legendary 61 centimeter fish because it's not in the code anymore. It's there, well, it's in the code, but it's not in the RNG. The cycle will just never hit for that 61 centimeter fish again. I don't know. I wish I could tell you, but it's just a theory. A fish theory. I don't even have a max rod right now. You're a goofy cat, you know that? I'm actually gonna go for it. Because I need to practice. The last time, well, I should have done this in chapter 2, because I actually still need to get out of bounds there. And I could have fished. But I like fishing here. This is like my favorite place to fish in the entire game. I also don't know if bringing Fabio matters. Oh, I'm good on the experience now. I think it does. I think all of my records were caught with Fabio or Olivine with me. But, like, I don't know. Again, there's so much to this game. And it's not like we have anybody with insider information who could tell us. This game's 20 years old. The devs do not care about telling us information. It's non-existent. There's no cool guy who, like, does art on fucking Twitter and posts about it and is like, yeah, I used to work for Level 5 20 years ago. Here's some scrapped ideas that I can talk about now. This game is dead. I love this game so much, and I tried so hard to make a presence for this game, but, like, it exists. This game has a massive following. I wouldn't even call it a cult following. It's just, I don't know. I genuinely, the best way to describe it is that this game is happy with being stuck in the 2004 year. Which is cool, because that was back when, like, you know, people believed Mew was under the truck. But I got questions that need answered by the modern man. 2004 players did not know what data mining was. And, yeah. I need that. Oh my god, wait, what? That's crazy. Wait, what? That's ridiculous. What? I'm not following you out there. I don't know what you want me to see, but it's probably a moth. I might even spend a few days this week fishing in Dark Cloud 1 again. Fishing in Dark Cloud 1's like shiny hunting, though. I can't do it very often, and it really just is like a break from this because I'm like, I want to see big fish. And you can actually see the fish in Dark Cloud 1, so it's more satisfying to me. But I don't like fishing in Dark Cloud 1 because there is no actual act of fishing. It's just, you see it. You just see the fish. But there is apparently 300 centimeter fish in Dark Cloud 1 that nobody has ever recorded. I don't, you could probably cheat them in if you have a cheat engine. But like, as far as I'm aware, if you have cheat codes, there's just nothing you can do. And I have cheat codes, not a cheat engine. Well, actually, I'm not, they might be the same thing, I don't know. But I don't know how to do it. However, I would like to just naturally see one without cheats, because I think that would be so cool. But again, it could simply be that, like, the RNG for those fish just doesn't exist. They're in the code, but, like, as far as getting them to spawn, it's, you'd have to cheat. And that's really interesting that we're learning stuff like that, because, and two specific examples. I watched about a platinum speedrun where somebody cheated in a Charmander that just literally didn't exist within the game's code. And then I watched a Diablo 2 speedrun where a guy cheated in certain level designs so that he could get through the levels faster, but those levels, while possible to generate, didn't exist in the code either because the game just simply wouldn't generate them. They were like, again, it was like a situation where Diablo 2 was like, yeah, nobody's ever going to play this game past the year 2035. So any level generated past that date was immediately red flagged because they knew it wasn't possible. And it could be like that for this game. They put in all these giant fish to be caught, but they didn't realize that people wouldn't be catching them, you know, the first few months the game came out. Oh, dude. It gave me one try, but this looks like it's the best try ever. So, I don't know. Interesting. Oh, I'm not gonna get my attempt. That's too bad. Oh, that sucks. If it was just how much closer does it need to be? Oh, it just needs to be like a few feet closer for me to get out of bounds. So essentially you run into this corner and you put the speedosphere behind you, and while you're running, you pull out the fishing pole and the game will shove you out of bounds. And the reason this happens is because for some reason the sphere and the fishing pole can't be in the same place at once. But if you have a club, you can. So like if you just stand on top of the sphere and pull out the fishing pole, it'll launch you. So you use that in combination to shove yourself through little weak points. So like again, see how Max kind of like gets pushed back? So like you can run into this corner and then he gets pushed back. If you just have the right angle with the sphere behind you, bam, you are out of bounds. Oh, that was terrible. Too early. That was dumb. I think that would have been a good bounce too. Ooh. Almost 1,000 frames dropped. Why am I dropping frames? I'm gonna give this level a quick try, and then I think I'm gonna hop off for the morning and just kind of relax for the day. I usually don't stream on the weekends, but I woke up at 2 a.m. and it was Shiny Hunt, exercise or fish, and I'm always picking fishing. Well, that's not true. I don't pick fishing a lot anymore because, again, I didn't have a reason to. I kind of felt like I'd achieved everything. Which is sad because I knew I hadn't achieved everything and I wanted to keep fishing, but every time I came back to fishing, it was just like, dude, you spent hundreds of hours trying to achieve your dreams and you didn't. And it was just like defeating. But those dreams don't exist on this emulator, so I'm here to achieve them again. And again, it's been a lot of fun to, like, see with the retro achievements. One of the craziest things is, like, out of the 500 people who started playing this game or, like, hooked up their accounts to this game, only, like, half of them have actually made it to Chapter 4. And it's even crazier to see how many people have actually caught every fish species, because that drops drastically. Yeah, it's crazy. I wish it was on PS4. I have this game on PS4, and I wish, like, the achievements were as in-depth, because it'd be even cooler to see, like, because PS4 has a much larger play base, I guarantee it. So it'd be super cool to be able to see, like, everybody's fishing records and stuff, but PS4 doesn't have those records. Oh, nice hit, nice hit. I don't know why I'm collecting this. This isn't even lower level than the other one. Is this a good... Alright, so I can get out of bounds here. See how it's pushing me back again? This is a good one. Hopefully we get a good speed. I got a good speed the other day and I completely wasted it. I got cocky because it was such a good setup that I was just like, yeah, we're guaranteed to get out of bounds here. And then I wasted it and I wanted to cry. I actually just forgot about that until now. I get very emotional. I'm very passionate. Passion, baby! I wish I could speedrun this game, but, like, my heart rate shoots to, like, 200. I'm also a perfectionist because I have narcissism and ADD and OCD. So, like, I think I can do perfect. And if I don't, it needs to be. And if I can't, I beat myself up over it. It's even worse if I see somebody else do it, because then I'm just like, why can't you do that? You can do that. So, like, speedrunning is literally just me realizing that I'm not perfect, and it's not good. So I should probably actually do it. I should practice that. But then if I get good at speedrunning, it's just probably going to loop back around and not be good. I don't know. There's some deep psychology there that I'm not ready to face. So when fishing in Rainbow Butterfly Woods, you're basically just going to throw in some petite fish. You are looking for gobblers here. Niler will also get you the medal. However, gobblers are more likely to be medal-sized, but don't count out the Niler. However, if you are here and you don't have a lot of fishing points and you see that you are catching only Nilers, you should probably just leave. Because again, I'm pretty sure this game is seeded, and if you load into a dungeon and you are only seeing Nilers, you are probably not going to see many gobblers. So you don't want to have to roll the dice when you do see the gobbler and hope that it's a big one. So just try again another time. This is all, again, circumstantial. This is all just my experiences, but If you don't believe me, it's all on YouTube, and it's not that I'm accusing anybody of ever not believing me. If you're hearing, see, like that's a huge Niler. Oh wait, that's not the metal though. I forgot this chapter. Oh wait. Okay, I was about to say, there's no way that's not the fucking. Wow, that was a big Niler. Hold on. I'm like not even mad. That was my that's my record. That is kind of confusing, but that literally was my record. I don't think that's my personal best. 67's pretty big though. That's a handsome fish. I am, as far as I am aware, the only person to have ever caught Master Utan on a fishing pole, though. Pretty handsome Nilers. Alright, what are we looking at for Spheda? I'm kind of scared that I don't see distortion or ball. Oh no. Okay, that's good. Oh, that's good. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold panic. That's good. That's good placement. How do I do what? Oh, only 4 shots, bro. Oh, 1 second, I'm stretching. Ooh, big stretch. So, and I'd have to, honestly, I don't even know if it'll let me because I have retro achievements hooked up and it says you can't cheat with retro achievements. So I don't even know what that means. So I might be able to still cheat with the way I did it, but essentially you download this thing called a code breaker. And it's an old game. Well, it's not a game, but it like injects codes into the games you play. And you use a code to get the debug menu for Dark Cloud 2. And then you use the debug menu in the middle of catching a fish to run an event in Fish Monster Swamp. And when you run the event, it turns off the music and essentially triggers the cutscene with Master Utan, I think. And then when you reel in the fish, it still has to play the fish cutscene. And instead of the fish, it's Master Utan that Max is holding. I have a clip of it on Twitch. I'm kind of scared to do it now because every time I load the game up, it says cheating has been disabled. And I don't know if that's going to screw up my playthrough. Because I know on like Steam, if you're doing like an achievement playthrough and you turn on mods, it'll like turn off your achievements. And I don't want to like catch a record-sized fish and then all of a sudden learn that my achievements are turned off because I was cheating like in a different stream. So I'm kind of scared to do it. But yeah, if you cheat, you can definitely catch Master Utan. And I think I'm the only person to have ever done it. Despite like not being the first person in a long line of people to use cheats in this game. Oh yeah, no, I did just post it the other day, didn't I? So yeah, that was one of the clips I posted on Twitch that I was just like, damn, I'm sad that I just posted a bunch of clips and that's gonna be how I get my 1,000. But at the same time, like I love those clips. Was this the locked chest? Okay, so I gotta hit the ball close but not in. Close but not into the barrier. Oh, dude, that was fucking terrible. Oh, please don't. Please don't. Please don't. Dude, I'm gonna screw this up. I got one try, bro. Yes! It worked first try, baby! Oh, I needed that win. I needed that win so bad, bro. Oh my god, I needed that so freaking bad. Where's the saw? Oh my god. Okay, that's the setup I need to start using. I usually turn to the right, but turning to the left is way more precise. Alright, there we go. We just skipped into chapter 6. Oh my god, dude. That took me 2 days. 3 days. Technically, we're on day 3. Wow, that's embarrassing. Ugh. Yes! Woo! Let's go catch a record-sized Nonky real quick. No, I really, and this, I know this is petty, but I really want to set the, like, record for Nonky, because in Pokemon Fan 4000's YouTube video where he sets the record, he specifically says that the record will probably never be broken again. And it's like, okay, bet. But, like, honestly, he might be right. At this point, he might be right. But, like, again, it only took me like 2 weeks of fishing to level up the fishing rod to be able to do it. And then, you know, realize, like, maybe I should be using the lure rod, actually. And then switching to the lure rod and fishing for, like, literally 2 or 3 days, and I broke the record for biggest fish. And it's like, okay, well, how much bigger do they get? And then I never proceeded to break my own record, but I don't know. Oh, come on, jeez, dang. It could turn out that the records will never be broken. It could turn out that they will be broken easily. It just has to be on July 31st of 2083. Is that even a day? Does July have 31 days? I don't know. But it's, like, weird, because, like, on one hand, I know how RNG works. Random. But on the flip side, like, when it comes to catching those last few centimeters of fish... Oh, that's my personal best. It's so weird, because, like, again, I'm not used to, like, re-catching my personal best. So, like, when I see a fish that's not record size, my brain just goes, bah! But, like, I don't know, it's fun again, catching personal bests. Honestly, at this point, I wouldn't even be mad about catching a Nonky that long, because that's still a personal best for me. I would be bitter as all hell if it was exactly smaller than his, but it would still be a personal best for myself. It would put me in second place. Because I've caught multiple Nonky that were almost as heavy as his, but only one of my Nonky has ever been above 150 centimeters. I have caught multiple 170 FP Nonky, but their weights have all been below 150, and it's like, that's crazy. His was 187, and I've caught like 175, 174, 179, but they've all been below 150 in length. And then my 160 length was 153 weight. And it's like, that makes no sense. How I have like 4 fish that are all heavier than my longest. But like, again, that's where like the whole we keep 2 separate records comes from. Because sometimes you just catch the heaviest fish. You never see the longest fish. And sometimes you catch long fish and it's like, why do my fish weigh nothing? And it's like, dude, that sucks. What the fuck? But again, when it comes to like best fish, it really is the length, because when you show them off in the aquarium, the weight doesn't mean anything. Most of the time, it's just question marks. And unless you're breeding, the weight still doesn't matter. But you can see it. But I do have the record for Priskline right now. Ooh. And it could be totally unrelated to the real world time of the PS2, and it could be in-game time, like the date and your time, because I caught my 89 centimeter Priskline the exact same way the other person caught their Priskline. The exact same way. I was fishing here when you get your unlimited Mimi from the Furbit, and it could have just been that we hit the same date and time. It could be proof that there's even less RNG to it. That's a good point. If those are the categories, I hold the record for overall breeding, length, and weight. Wow, that's actually funny. I hold all the records. But not for every fish. Not for every fish. If you count every fish, I do not hold every record. It's actually pretty spread out. Oh, that's a handsome Priskline. I have the longest Kaji at 187.7 centimeters. Or is it 0.8? I think it's 0.8. And then I have the heaviest Kaji at 614 FP, which came out to like, I don't even remember how much. It was fucking heavy. But like, again, weight doesn't matter that much. I think FP is more important because, again, when Max holds the fish, the FP determines that model size. So like, it is important, but only for like that picture. And if you turn the fish into the fishing contest, which like you said, you lose the fish. So it's still not worth it unless you want to just see your fish again. Wow, that's crazy. That's like back-to-back, almost the same size Priskline. Handsome. Handsome little buggers. And then I bred a Kaji that, it was like 195 centimeters or something like that. And then the game literally told me it couldn't get bigger. And it weighed like 10,000 grams, which was way lighter than my 614, but I think the 614 weighed like 14,000 grams or something like that. And then overall would probably still be one of my Kajis, but I actually don't know. Actually, overall is probably my heaviest one, because it was 179 centimeters and 614 weight. So, like, on average, it is probably the largest fish. I know I hold that record for sure, but it's probably that one still. Because, like, I hold, like, the top 4, like, Kaji. 187, 179, 175. And then I think, well, what Pokemon have? Is it 176, actually? I might be wrong on that. It's definitely the 179, though. Because my 187 is actually tiny. Because it only weighs 522. So, like, it's actually not that big of a fish. I have so many Kaji on record that weigh more than my longest one. It's twisted. When you actually look at the numbers, my 187 is borderline or perfectly minimum weight. Which might actually be good for racing. I don't know. I know very little about breeding outside of trying to get the biggest fish. I know very little about, like, what all the attitudes mean and what race category to pick. There's still so much to find out about this game. And I'd love to be the guy who makes the comprehensive guide, but, like, my OCD kicks in, and if I can't answer every question, I don't think I should be the one making the guide. 176. Okay, so if you double that, you get the lure rod. So what is that weight? Because even that weighs more than my 187, doesn't it? 264 times 2. I'm embarrassed I can't do this in my head. 528. So even his weighs more than my 187. But my 614 is 3 centimeters longer than that. You know, basic math. But weighs, let's see, 528, 614 minus 528. 86 more than that. So yeah. That's kind of funny. Yeah, the four big categories I do technically hold the record in all. But again, when you break it down, I hold length weight for Kaji, length weight for Tartan, I hold weight for Bobo, and I think weight for Hama Hama. Maybe? I'd have to double check. All of Pokemon, and it's so goofy. Again, like you asked, there's no one place to find all the answers. If you want Pokemon fans' records, they're under his most recent video about opening the debug menu through damage storage. And it's under the comment where Don Dokken asks them about their fishing records. And they just list them all. It's the only place that they have ever listed all of their fishing records. Again, I probably should compile everybody's records onto my Twitch, but I don't like doing that because, I don't know, it feels weird. They're not my records. But again, you just have to put their names under them. But, like, again, they're just two random-ass people. Here in 15 minutes, I am... Do I want to record all day? Probably not. I need to take a break. Oh, wait, no, actually, yeah, I'm going to take a break today. And then stream during the week like I normally do. Because I think today's my map on Apex Legends. I think Storm Point comes back into rotation for ranked. I want to hit Masters again this season. I hate not hitting Masters in Apex Legends. Because, like, it's so easy. I love hiding in bushes and fucking Battle Royales, man. I love it. Watching the entire team just fucking walk past you, get in a fight, and then taking them all out with a single shot. Oh, so good. But yeah, I will... What am I doing this week? I will be fishing in this game this week. I'll probably do a day of Dark Cloud 1 fishing. I'm going to be playing the Abstract Ironmon challenge that I've come up with. It's like the Kaizo Ironmon, if you know about that, but I've changed some of the rules so that it's more fun for me. But I don't like calling it the Kaizo Ironmon challenge. I don't want to think that I beat the Kaizo Ironmon challenge, so I renamed it. I'm supposed to play Soul Silver with Monty, but I haven't messaged them on Discord yet because I'm a loser. And then the only other desire I really have is I want to do a legendary only playthrough, legendary and pearlescent, because there's no way I'm not using a pearlescent if I find it, but the odds of me finding a pearlescent, it's not happening. But I want to do a legendary only playthrough of Borderlands. But like, as far as I can tell, nobody has ever done that. So I actually don't know how hard it'll be. But I think I have it figured out. So that'll be cool. But that's all I have planned for next week. So if any of that sounds cool to you, just swing by, but don't feel pressured to swing by at any point if you don't like what I'm playing. I always feel bad when people feel obligated to watch somebody play a game and they don't like it, and it's just like, you don't have to be here, dog. Like, I know this is your favorite streamer and we're all hanging out here, but like, it's making you uncomfortable. But like, yeah, feel free. If any of those sound like fun to you, feel free to hang out. Feel free to backseat at any point. If you see me doing something wrong, just tell me. A lot of people think I'm afraid of criticism, but what I'm actually afraid of is being repeatedly told something's better and it's not actually true. That's what I don't like. But yeah, so I usually stream for 2 hours at a time, and then I'll take like a 10-20 minute break. And ooh, let's, you know, I don't think I've caught a pickly yet once on this profile. Let's catch a pickly real quick. How many people have caught a pickly? Let's place bets. 77 people is the lowest I've seen, and that was for, I think, the Kaji. I'm gonna bet 53 people have caught a pickly. That's my bet right now. Dude, it's gonna be like 20. I'm betting 53. I usually stream for 2 hours, and then I take a break. I'll get up, I'll walk around, I'll pet my cats. I'll usually go stretch in my living room, and then I'll play for another 2 hours. And sometimes I go for 16 hours. 18 hours is my record, but I'm like not talking and falling asleep with the controller in my hands at that point. So I don't like to stream that long. But now that I'm fishing again, 12 hours is very possible for most days. But yeah, no, I just hang out. I play games for fun, like most people. And I like to meet people who play those games as well and share tips and tricks and learn how to get best at it. Question on your PS2 save file, you said you had different colors for the fish. Are there multiple? How many colors are there? Okay, so I can't do it right now because I can't remember which side my internet's on, and every time I open up my internet, it says the weather for where I live, and I'm trying not to dox myself because I do that all the time. But, oh god, I wish I, how do I do this? Oh, I can totally, wait, let me do it with my phone. I can totally do it with my phone. Bum, ba, da, bum, bum. How do you copy it? Copied. Oh, there are 18 different colors for all the fish. Sorry. That is my subreddit for fishing. And in there, you will find a picture of every fish with every color. I think you have to scroll like a couple posts down because I've posted other things, but I have posted a picture of every fish and every color so that people can see it. Because as far as I'm aware, that information is nowhere. No problem. It was annoying as shit to figure out, like, which fish change colors when they were bred with which fish. And again, that information just, like, it's out there. People have done it, but it's never been recorded as far as I'm aware. So I spent a few days on my PS2 doing it and realized that it was going to be such a large task that it was going to take months, if not a year or longer. And then I got an emulator and I learned what a code breaker was and how to download it, and that, yeah. Yeah, it would be, but like, where do you put it? Because I think GameFAQs only has like text. I don't think you can do images. But like, I mean, I guess I could try to put it on the Wikipedia. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. I could try. I mean, obviously I have the pictures. They exist now. I have no idea how to do that, though. I'm assuming since it's Wikipedia, you literally just, you know, upload them. But, like, I don't know if you have to have, like, a wiki account that's, like, been active for so long. I don't know. I've just never bothered. I was originally planning on putting guide descriptions under each, like, fish post, but I didn't know if it would be even worth it, because I didn't know if anybody would ever actually see it. I shared that wiki that Reddit a few times in, like, other people's streams, and I got called a solicitor, and it was just kind of like, you know what? Maybe I won't share it then. Actually, for a few weeks, I did private the entire thing because people kept calling me a solicitor, and they're just like, God damn, he's just here to fucking sell his subreddit. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, no. How do you even sell a subreddit? What the fuck? And over time, I've slowly realized that what happens is I show up in people's streams and their regulars get really uncomfortable because I know so much about the game the streamer's playing, and the streamer pays attention to me, and they think that their little spotlight being the streamer's favorite is, like, under siege. And it's like, dog, I don't care. They're fishing in my favorite game. Like, that, I'm here for that and that alone. Like, as soon as Mr. Streamer Man stops fishing, I'll be gone. Don't fucking panic. Damn. Chonky Nilers today, baby. Where are the pickles, though? Ooh, my lips are chapped. Freaking, I found Mountain Dew Gamer Fuel at the store, and my water intake is down about a bottle a day, which, when you live in the desert, is actually impactful. After 7 days, you're 7 bottles of water down, and your body feels it. But I'm glad I ran into you. This is the whole reason I stream. I'm a very abrasive person. I like to stand up for myself. Sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes I stand up for the wrong thing. I'll admit that. But, I like to meet new people who play the same games that I do. Because sometimes you have interactions like this, and it's fun. And it's nice to meet new people who care about the same thing you do and have interests. Because, honestly, like, 5 people have figured out so much about fishing just this year, about, like, I don't know, in a few months. Honestly, from, like, January to June, fishing was cracked wide open. And, like, now we're basically just trying to figure out the most fine details. There's still a bunch of stuff that we haven't proven because we don't have the code. This is a decent fish. Who the hell is this? This has got to be a big-ass Niler. But I don't know, man. It's been so much fun. Yeah, that's a, wow, 67 FP. Damn, that's a big one. Good day for Nilers, apparently. Made some enemies. I've made a lot of enemies. Goofily. A lot of people genuinely just didn't like me because, again, they thought I was trying to replace Pokemon Fan 4000. And it's like, dog, I didn't even know he existed until this year. Like, I'm still fanning over them. Like, I'm not trying to replace them. It's like, I will replace them as somebody who's... What? 78 FP? That's crazy! Ah, I'm the one getting screwed today on fucking numbers. Beautiful Nilers, though. Is that like my actual... That sounds like my actual record, too. Like, not just for fucking this playthrough. Like, that's a good fish. I actually don't know what my record for Niler is. I don't fish for these guys often. Can I even see my... 67.56. That was actually my... That was my record for weight. That was a new personal best. What was it again? 67? 67? 67.56. Wow, I got screwed. And that was, I think, a 62.78. Handsome. Where are the Piccoli? I literally haven't seen a Piccoli this whole playthrough. There should only be 4 fish in this pond. Piccoli, Niler, Gummy. And then Neji if you're using a lure rod, but I'm not. This could be a Piccoli. This is probably a Gummy, but this could be one. This is so weird, man. Question breeding colors again. So do you have a guide to how to get to the certain colors for the fish? So the color is taken from whatever fish has the highest base stat total. So you add up all the stats, and whatever fish has the highest number is the color passed on. And then whatever fish you get as a result is like a super weird, like, there's a chart in the back of the fishing, or the fishing guide, of the guidebook from Prima, but like, it makes no fucking sense. Like, there's some combinations that kind of make sense. Like, you combine a Mardan and a Piccoli, which are 2 of the rarest fish, to get a Baron. But, like, the combinations just don't make any fucking sense. I've learned... The only, like, combinations I've actually learned of the fish breeding is through Kaji. And that's simply because that's the fish I breed the most. But, like, it's still something I have to pull the guide out every single... Why did I do that? I don't need you. Oh, we'll sell to you then. Shoot. Where's my aquarium? What fish do I have in here? Will they be easy to identify? Kaji is my favorite, so I wanted to get the Hama Hama color for it. Yeah, I don't have the guide. Oh god, do I even have it on my phone anymore? That actually shouldn't be that difficult. It's honestly really easy to get the fish you want, the color you want. The hard part is getting a big fish the color you want, because the fish, when you breed them, will always be halfway between the largest and smallest parent. So you basically just have to catch a random fish as big as you can and then breed it with the biggest fish you can until it gets the size that you're comfortable with or you're happy with. And then you look at the fish chart and figure out how to get to your dream fish. And either on the last breeding, you feed a fish so it has a huge stat pool. And then, like, you breed it with your fish and then they combine and then you get your dream fish. Or at the very beginning, you breed the color onto your dream fish so that as its stats go higher, whenever you breed it with another fish, the stats won't get overwritten. So there's two different ways. Yeah. So, like, I think the easiest way is to get your starting fish the color you want and have higher stats on it. Yeah, you can't. Sorry, you can't post links here. Only I can. It's so that those cheap viewer bots can't just spam links. Because since I stream so early in the morning, I get... Oh, is that the fish chart? Nice. Yeah, it makes no sense. I don't even want to look at it right now. It makes no sense. Cool. I think you're like the first person to actually use the thing. The pictures of the fish. And you decided on Kaji with Hama Hama colors. Very nice. You saw my dream tank. You know what my dream tank looks like. Did I delete him? Oh wait, where is it? There it is. I might have already deleted him. I didn't know that was my record. Wow, 66.8. Wait, hold on. What was my record for Niler? I might have actually set my record and then accidentally deleted the fish. Huh. Damn, I deleted the fish. That's too bad. It could have been a decimal point. Well, actually, I don't have the decimal point on my original post, so I didn't even check my original Niler. So the best I can assume is that I tied it. It definitely weighed more, so it was overall a larger fit. I can't believe my last one was only a 56. Dang, that was a personal best. I didn't even know. Niler is not a fish that I've ever gone for, like, to be honest, though. Truthfully, Niler are not fish that I like to fish for. There's usually another fish that I'm going after. What were we doing? We're gonna grab bombs from Eric. No. I'm gonna sell the bombs. We're gonna go buy some bait, and then I am going to have some breakfast and get ready for my day. Yeah, I'm not even sure what I'll be playing on Monday, but it'll be this or it'll be this, Dark Cloud 1 or Borderlands for sure. But I'm not sure which of those 3 games I'm going to be playing. Oh, petite fish. Always. I really don't like using Minin, but potato cake is my favorite bait. We haven't done any Umatakara fishing. Evi are good for the ocean because it'll catch all of the small fish and Kaji, whereas petite fish only catch Kaji, Hamahama, and Bon. This will catch you Kaji, Bon, Tartan, and Bobo. These will catch you Tartan, Bobo, Bon, and Hamahama. So this still gives you a chance at Kaji, whereas this is Bobo, Bon, and Tartan, so you don't get any of the big fish. So your big fish are split between these 2 baits, and this one gets you the Kaji. So I think these are the better bait. But this gets you Hamahama and Kaji, but you don't get a chance at Bobo. You only get Bonds. So the ocean kind of sucks. Prickly really doesn't matter. But again, baits could matter more than I know. But we just don't know. Petite fish is good, though, because it'll catch Gobbler and Baku Baku in any body of water they're available. So that's always nice. And then these are good for Nonki. That's why I like to buy these. And then what do I have to sell? There we go. And then we'll buy... Nope. Wow, wait, what? Once I set records for the vast majority of fish, I do want to go into Chapter 5 to start catching barons and stuff like that. But I have set almost all of my fishing records before Chapter 5. So I have this superstition that for some reason going into Chapter 5 fucks with your fish. I have no proof of that outside of just circumstantial evidence that, like, all of my record fish were caught before Chapter 5. So, like, again, no proof, just fucking weird-ass evidence. So, I like to stay in Chapter 4 because the Shigura are still around, and, yeah. Total conspiracy theory bullshit, but I don't know, man. I fucking hold all the records except for individual fish ones, so fucking until somebody beats me post Chapter 4, I'm stuck believing. Because I'm a believer. But, I will see you hopefully on Monday. I'll probably be fishing on Monday. It'll probably be this or Dark Cloud 1 or both. But there is a chance for Borderlands. I don't wanna sell you the wrong story. But thank you for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. It was wonderful chatting, and I hope to see some records. No, don't feel pressured, but no problem. Thanks for hanging out. But good luck, have fun, and I do hope that you see some personal bests. I hope the fish are biting, and I hope the FP matches the centimeters. Take care.